All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, glory to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. Happy new moon. All praises to the Most High, and happy feast of dedication. All praises to the Most High. And of course, it's like a double celebration, a double portion. So of course, we got to go all the way in. All praises. So when it comes to Feast of Dedication, as we're celebrating right now, it's about rededicating your life to the Most High. Remember, you are the temple. Okay, we're going to get straight into it. All right. So the Feast of Dedication, or Hanukkah, or as you know, the Feast of Lights, is not just a historical celebration. All right. It's a time to rededicate your life to the Most High as well. It's a spiritual call, okay, for rededication to the Most High, all right? So, if the temple during the Maccabean time, when they recaptured the nation and took away the heathen out of our nation, and they cleansed the temple, they cleansed all of it and rebuilt it. What about you? What about your temple that the Lord said you must now live your life as a living sacrifice as? You're the temple. All right, so it matters. It matters when it comes to the rededication. All right, let's get First Maccabees chapter 4, verse 36. First Maccabees 4, verse 36.
First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 36.
Come on, and call the verses as you go out. Go ahead.
Then said Judas and his brethren, Behold, our enemies are discomfited. Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary.
Let's go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary. Read on.
Upon this, all the host assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Zion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate, and the altar profaned, and the gates burned up, and shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest, or in one of the mountains, and the priest's chambers pulled down, they rent their clothes, and made great lamentation, and cast ashes upon their heads, and fell down flat to the ground upon their faces, and blew an alarm with the trumpets, and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary.
Until he cleansed the sanctuary. Call the verses as you go down. 41. Go ahead.
Verse 42. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law. Verse 43. Who cleansed the sanctuary.
Who cleansed the sanctuary. Read on.
And bare out the defiled stones into an unclean place.
So they took out the defiled stones. They removed them. They didn't leave the unclean stones in there. Read on.
Verse 44. And when, as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profaned.
Come on.
Verse 45. They thought it best to pull it down.
Thought it best to pull it down. Read.
Lest it should be a reproach to them.
Lest it should be a reproach to them. Understand that. So even everything that was defiled, they had to replace it. Read on.
Because the heathen had defiled it.
Because the heathen did what?
The heathen had defiled it.
Anything that's defiled, you must replace it. Again, anything that's defiled, you must replace it. Don't try to use it again. Don't try to, let me see if I could just put some dish liquid on it. No, you replace it. Okay, so think about this in your own personal life as well. What are the things that you need to replace? Okay, some of you just have been doing some light dusting or some light wiping, but some of those things need to replace. Some of those actions you're doing need to be replaced with other actions. Some of the things you're doing in your life need to be replaced with other activities, other things. It needs to be replaced. It can't be cleansed because it's already what? Defiled. Read on.
Wherefore they pulled it down. Verse 46. And laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place.
In a convenient place. Read on.
until there should come a prophet to shew what should be done with them.
A prophet will show them according to the law what should be done with them. Read on.
Verse 47. Then they took whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the former.
They built a what?
A new altar according to the former.
A new altar. According to the former means just like how the first one was built. Read on.
Verse 48. And made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple, and hallowed the courts. Verse 49. They made also new holy vessels.
New vessels, come on.
And into the temple they brought the candlestick and the altar of burnt offerings.
They brought the menorah of the burnt offerings. And the burnt offerings, read on.
And of incense and the table.
And the incense, so they replaced all of it, read on.
And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted.
The incense is very symbolic of cleansing, all right? So when you light the incense in the sanctuary, you light the incense in the temple, it's very symbolic of not only the sweet savor that you're burning unto the Most High God, but also a cleansing, all right? Like the incense, it's good for spiritual cleansing, driving away left-hand side spirits. All right, read on.
That they may give light in the temple. Verse 51. Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table and spread out the veils and finished all the works which they had begun to make.
So the loaves is talking about what? The shewbread for the priests. Read on.
Verse 52. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning. Verse 53. And offered sacrifice according to the law.
Sacrifice according to the law. So remember this. When you are cleansing your temple, you must return to the what, Brother Daniel? The law. Absolutely. 100%. So I don't want you to think that when you're rededicating your life, it's just about making new promises or just telling the Most High God, I'll do better. It's not just about that. It's about telling God, I'm coming back to your laws. Read on.
Upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made. Verse 54. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, even in that it was dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals.
With songs, harps, and cymbals. Coming back with real joy and real mirth. Read on.
Verse 55. And all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success.
Read on.
Verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
8 days they kept the dedication, like it's going on still right now. Read on.
And offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed a sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Good. So it's a sacrifice also that you're making to make this happen. I really want to emphasize on this sacrifice that you're making. For a lot of you, you're not making the sacrifice. You didn't go and celebrate this thing with mirth and with joy like your forefathers did. You didn't go and you didn't get the lights and the decor and you were relying on just coming to the school or coming to the church or coming, so that could be your joy and the mirth. But then you're not making it a tradition in your household. You're not making it a thing that is your family does. Now I saw some, lovely pictures coming through. Our channels, our group channels in our organization. And I was very pleased and elated to see that some persons put some great effort into it. And it wasn't like they went out and spent a bunch of money. They used what they had, right? Like I mentioned on Wednesday night's call, like lights don't really cost a lot of money. You could put up some lights. I saw one sister using some crochet balls to spell out Happy Feast of Dedication. It's things you can use to make it happen, but it's a sacrifice. So even if you're using the things that you have at home to make it happen, still go out and make the sacrifice, right? So I don't want to hear nobody saying, oh, I wasn't in the spirit this year because it caught me off guard. Everyone has the calendar. Everyone knows when it's coming. Everyone is reminded of what's happening when it's about to happen. It's just that you didn't make the sacrifice. You didn't prioritize it. You didn't treat it with enough respect and joy and gladness as your forefathers did. Right? And because of that, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 47 kicks into play, where our people got punished for not keeping these commandments with joy, with mirth, with gladness. You understand that? Read on.
Verse 58. Thus were there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
The reproach of the heathen was put away. Like I mentioned before, your forefathers fought for these laws so they could be kept even in captivity. It's a big deal. We wouldn't have been able to keep these laws if we didn't have forefathers who would actually put their life on the line and be staunch advocates to tear down the strongholds and rededicate the temple back to the Lord. Right? Who knows what would have happened if those heathen were allowed to win our nation, win our people, and continue putting defiled things among the children of Israel. You wouldn't have been able to freely keep these laws today, freely keep the new moon today, freely keep Feast of Dedication today, freely keep ancient feasts today. Your forefathers put a great deal on the line just for you today. In 2025, you can keep this thing. And you mean to tell me you're not going to decorate at home? You're not going to make this a tradition at home with you and your family? You're going to treat it as a small thing. But when you were in the world, you went all out for pagan feasts. You went all out. You spent your last. You love the feeling that's coming around when December 25th is coming around. You love that feeling because it gave you a nice, warm and fuzzy feeling, right? And that was for paganism. But now for the Lord, you put zero emphasis on it. You put zero priority on it. There's no joy, there's no mirth. Around your house is dead. It's just like a regular day business as usual. Right? That shouldn't be. And if that is you, then this class is for you. That you should rededicate your life, rededicate yourself to the Lord. Because if you're going to tell me that, that means you only wait for TOC to celebrate new moons and different. You're not celebrating it at home. I know that. The Lord already showed me that. There's a lot of you not celebrating these things at home. You wait till you come to the school to be that thing. That's your celebration when you come to the school. You're not really doing it at home. You ain't really in the truth for real, for real. You're not. And I got to call it like it is. You're not. You think you're in the truth and you think that you're doing all the laws. You think you're doing all the commandments, but you're using, your organization as a crutch. You're not doing it at home. You're not for real. You're not for real. You ain't in this thing for real. But I'm praying that could change. I'm praying that you really have the same energy at home. But it shows if you're not doing it at home. It could show. It will show. It will show on you in your spirit. It will show in your words. It will show in your actions. All right, read on.
Verse 59. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained.
Whole congregation of Israel ordained, come on.
That the days of dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days.
Year to year, 8 days. You understand that? That's it on that?
From the 25th day of the month, Keslu, with mirth and gladness.
Mirth and gladness. So please, you got to celebrate this thing at home. That's why we had asked everybody to send in your pictures. And everybody thought it was some people thought it was a joke. Some people thought it was, oh, well, I ain't doing that. Some people thought it was, oh, well, I ain't got nothing to send in. Are you really in this truth for real? Have you really rededicated your life for real to the Most High? Are you really proving all things and showing and proving that you're celebrating this thing for real? So, cleansing, repairing, relighting of the menorah, rejoicing. That's the focus when it comes to you rededicating your life, all right? Cleansing your life as well, repairing your life, relighting the light in your life, and giving thanks to the Most High God, rejoicing no matter what befalls you in terms of your situation, all right? So, it's not just physically what they did back then in the book of Maccabees, but also spiritually, what does it mean today, all right? So, remember, if the Lord dwells in us, then we are the temple, all right, of the Most High, needing a rededication as well. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
The Spirit of God dwells in you. You are the temple of God. Understand that? So we need a dedication too. We need a re-cleansing too. You understand that? Drop that and give me the book of 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 16.
1 Corinthians.
Sorry, you read that. You read that. Sorry. Give me 17. Give me 17.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Him shall God destroy.
For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are.
Good, which temple you are. So you are the temple of God. All right? Just like how they had to rededicate the temple back then, during this feast, this 8 days of feasting, your job is to rededicate your temple back to the Most High Yahweh. Understand that. Give me the book of Psalms 51 and verse 10.
Psalm chapter 51 and verse 10. Create in me a clean heart, O God.
A clean heart. So in this time of rededicating, pray to the Lord and ask him to recreate a clean heart in you. All right? It's very important that you do so. All right? Because many of you know there's certain spirits that's still on you. And you ain't doing enough to get these spirits off of you. Like, having awareness that that spirit is on you is not enough. Knowing what needs to be done is not enough. Knowing what the problem is not enough. The question is, what are you going to do about it? So pray to the Lord and ask him to create a new heart in you. All right? So you got to speak on it daily, pray on it daily. All right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 20, verse 27. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 27.
Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 27. The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord.
The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord. So think of it this way. Spiritually, those candles that got relit during the dedication, it says the spirit of man is the candle of the Lord. So relighting your candle for the Lord means to rededicate your life, your actions, all right? The things that you do in this truth, you got to rededicate that because your spirit is the lamp of the Lord. Our lamps got to be rekindled. All right? So, question. Has your fire dimmed? Has your candle dimmed? Ever so often, as you know, feast days come and feast days go, seasons come and season goes, cycles comes and cycle goes, I could tell when brothers they're not performing, the candle is low, the light is not shining as it should. You see brothers laxing on what they're supposed to be doing. We had a feast day coming up. The general ain't received no kind of report on nothing whatsoever. Brothers is slacking in their stead. Brothers is just, listen. TOC, as we making like headway, there's a lot of things that we doing, but as much things as we doing, it's not everything I'm mentioning that we about to go do, things that around the corner that we about to do, things that we gonna do. But I'm seeing a lot of brothers not pulling their weight, man. A lot of brothers slacking off, getting lazy, not doing what they're supposed to be doing. In one season, they're great, and then it's just like that lasts for a week or two. It's time to rededicate yourself. Rededicate your life to the Most High God. All right? Is it habits? Is it sins? Is it distractions? Knock, 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 knock. You're getting distracted again. Every time you tell the Lord, Lord, I'm going to get focused. Lord, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to be on point. Here comes the what? Distractions. If distractions been getting the better of you lately, you have to rededicate yourself to the Lord. All right? You're getting distracted again. All right? What do you call that? ADHD? What's that? Attention, what do you call that? Attention deficit. What's that? Hyper disorder? Yeah, it's like you start doing something and then something over here catch your attention and then you forget all about what you was doing over here, all about the focus that you were supposed to. You're getting distracted again. And every little thing distracts you and takes you off course. You're getting distracted again. All right? You get a jolt of inspiration and you say, yeah, I'm going to dedicate myself to the Lord. And then 2 weeks later, not even 2 weeks, a week later, you're getting distracted again. If that is you, then you must rededicate yourself to the Lord. So you got to return back to your first love. Give me Revelation 2 and verse 4. Revelation 2 and verse 4.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 4. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee.
Somewhat against thee.
Because thou hast left thy first love.
So Christ is addressing the churches and he said to have something against thee. All right? And you have forget your first love. All right? Your first love. When you first came into this truth, that sheer passion and zeal that you had, you're getting distracted again. All right? You forgot your first love. All right? Your first passion, which is obedience and consistency. Again, listen, the truth would be so beautiful if brothers just had one main thing. And that thing is what? It begins with a C. Consistency. Brothers ain't got no consistency. Talk a great game. Amazing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to this. I know what my problem is. I'm going to work. And brothers just ain't got no consistency. In a week, all that great talk gone out the window. It means you need to rededicate yourself to the Lord. You understand that? So this feast is a call of remembrance, repentance, to redo, rededicate. All right? Rededicate your prayer life. Rededicate your study habits. Rededicate when it comes to your household. And when it comes to the men, making sure that their households are in order. Their marriages are in order. All right? Your discipline is in order. Your consistency is in order. It's time to rededicate that thing to the Most High. All right? Let's get Romans 12 and verse 1. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Present your bodies. Present it. You got to present it before the Lord. What does it mean to present yourself before the Lord? Present your best self. Read on.
Acceptable unto God.
Acceptable unto God. So when you present yourself to the Lord, it's acceptable unto Him, but there's a certain way you must present yourself. You present yourself by returning back to His laws, statutes, and commandments. Return back to your consistency. Stop getting distracted and be the man that the Lord wants you to be. Like 1 Kings 2 and 2 says. All right? It says for men that they keep the charge of the Lord, meaning keep your word that you're going to keep God's laws. Keep your word that you're going to be consistent. Don't just sound like you're talking a good game. Present yourselves the right way. Let your actions speak. All right? We're in the season now where we're not listening to brothers' words and brothers' talk and brothers saying I could do this and brothers saying I could do that. If we can't see the manifestation of what's supposed to be your actions, shh, we don't want to hear it. If we can't see it, shh, we don't want to hear it. If you're not doing it actively and we can see it, because you're always going to hear this, but General, I'm doing it. It's just that you can't see it. That means you ain't doing it. If you can't see some physical manifestation of what is being done, then it's not being done either to the level it's supposed to be done, or it's not being done at all. Because you're going to always hear that, but General, it's being done, but where is it? Don't worry, General, you just can't see it. That means it's not being done to the level it's supposed to be. But don't worry, you're going to see it maybe next year. Well, next year, you sure you're going to be here? As in, you're going to be here at TOC, or you're going to be here on earth? You don't know. There's no time like the present. Whatever you say you're going to do it now. Stop with it. Like the scriptures say, no more talk. All right, the Most High ain't requiring no more talk. He ain't want to hear no more words. Actions, actions, actions. Let the actions speak. And if you don't have no actions, then shh. Let those who have the actions show and prove. Let those who have the actions, you step aside and let them step to the front. It's that simple. But if you know you need to rededicate your life to the Lord, rededicate yourself to the Lord, then do it now. Do it tonight. Do that thing. It's very important that you do so. All right? If you know you've been getting distracted, you've been promising the Lord certain things, you ain't been doing it, rededicate yourself. And don't rededicate yourself by saying, Lord, I promise this and I promise that. And you rededicate yourself with actions, not with words. All right, TOC? All right, family? All right, our viewers at home? Rededicate yourself with actions. Because the more you tell yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get better, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be more consistent, I'm going to clean up this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to clean up my life in this area, and get my life in order in this area. The more you talk about it, it's just the more it won't happen. But the more you do, the more traction you get, the more results you see, but the more you do. All right, so don't give the Lord any more talking. Give him actions. All right? Present your body as a living sacrifice. Now, presenting means an action. It's an action word, to present yourself before the Lord. You're presenting. It's actions. All right? So you got to renew your mind. All right? Renew your mind during the dedication. As you know, it's 8 days. We're in like what? We're in like what? The 4th day? 4th or 5th day? Right? 4th day, right? You got more days to go. For those of you who have not decorated at home as yet, you still got time to do so. Put your decor up. Send in your pictures. Don't be a lazy Susan. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be like, well, next year I'll do it. There's no time like the present. Listen, when the Lord commanded the men of the Lord to do certain things, right? Especially like when it came to like circumcision, he told the men of the Lord, go circumcise the men now. They had to go and do it right now. I'm just giving an example. When the Lord asks you to do something, it's about actions right now, not talk about, well, I'll do it next year, because next year going to come and go, and it's going to still meet you in the same position. And that's happening to a lot of y'all right now. A lot of y'all talked and said things last year. A lot of y'all talked and said, I'm going to be more in the spirit for Feast of Dedication next year because you didn't really do nothing last year. Don't worry, I'm going to be more in the spirit. And then next year came, which is now, and you're still in the same position of not being in the spirit. Some of you promised the Lord that you're going to do certain things. You're going to get certain things in order. You still ain't did it yet. Because you're focusing more on talking. You think talking impresses God. You think the Lord is impressed with you saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get this in order, I'm going to get that. He's not impressed by none of it. Because Matthew 7 proves that. There's many who are going to say, Lord, Lord, haven't we done this? Haven't we done that? Haven't we said this? Haven't we said that? And he's still going to declare to you what? Depart from me, for I never knew you. So let your actions speak. All right? Louder than words. So don't be conformed to this world. The world, they love to talk. You, the men of the Lord, and you, the women of the Lord, you be different. Don't be talkers. When you rededicate yourself, be doers. Actions. All right? Don't talk about what you're going to do. Show and prove what you are doing. All right? So, if the Maccabees, your forefathers, had the courage to cleanse the Lord's temple, and that was the physical temple, then surely you have the courage to cleanse the spiritual one, which is yourself. So this feast isn't just about what happened back then. It's about what must happen now, what must happen going forward, and what you must do to rededicate yourself and re-offer yourself and, take your vows seriously with the Lord. All right? Refresh your vows with the Lord. I know many of you need to do that. All praises. So with that, we want to say Happy New Moon once again, Israel. Happy Feast of Dedication. All praises to the Most High. We're going to close out. All right? I pray that you have the rest couple days that's coming up. All right? The rest 4 days. Make it splendid. Make it amazing. Right? Have all the emotions that you need to have. Joy, mirth, gladness, like the scriptures say. Right? Rededicate yourself to the Lord. Right? Cry if you need to. Weep before the Lord if you need to. Be broken before Him, because if you're not broken before Him, there's no rebirth happening. There's no re-cleansing happening. There's no purging happening. You purge when you get all of that out of your system. Some of you need to purge, be broken before the Lord. That's what you need. All right, so with that, we're going to close off. All praises to the Most High. Thank you, Israel. We love you. And let the next 4 days be one that counts. Yes? All praise to the Most High. So with that, we're going to close up. Let's give it up for the Most High. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's right. Men of Israel, who do we serve? Who do we serve? Who does it serve? Who is the Son? That's right. Most High in Christ bless. Happy Feast of Dedication, Israel. Shalom.